Hey everyone, it's Katie, and today I'm going to be filming another video in my back to school series. Also, before I get started, I did want to say I'm wearing the same shirt because I'm filming a bunch of videos on the same day, so I am wearing the same shirt, but I don't wear the same shirt all the time. I'm just filming a lot on one day. But anyways, I'm just going to be filming a video, and it's just going to be a study tips video, and I have so many study tips for you guys. I'm so excited. But anyways, I'm just going to get started with all the tips, and some of them are kind of organization related, but yeah, let's just get into it. So first tip is to use a planner. I know that's so cliche and everyone says it, but it does help a ton. Just to, like, have a place to write down everything you need to get done, because then you have a visual and you can't forget because it's written down. And as long as you go through every night and do it and then check it off after it's done, then you will get everything done and you will never not have a homework assignment done on time unless you procrastinate and just don't do your homework. But yeah, anyways, moving on, the next tip is to have everything with you when you study. It is going to help so much. So I have my desk, and then I have a few things like above my desk sitting on the ledge of my window, and then also a shelf. So I do have to, like, wheel over in my wheelie chair to get stuff off the shelf or stand up and get it quick. But you totally don't have to. As long as you can fit everything on your desk. But I'm not able to, and since I don't have a locker, my locker is like my little school shelf that I have, which you'll see in my desk tour / study area video, which will be up in September. That's like so long away, but that's when I plan on uploading it. So yeah, but anyways, I do have like a shelf, so I do have to move a little bit, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is I have everything around me in the area that I'm studying, so I don't have to get up and walk across the room to get something. So let's just move on to the next tip, which is having separate notebooks for each class. And for me personally, this is something I stress so much because, like, it just helps, because it just does. Then you just don't have the struggle if you have like a multi-section notebook and then you use up the paper in one section. Then you either have to get a new notebook or you start using the paper from another section, and as you can see, it's just a downward spiral and it's not worth it. So I just recommend having separate notebooks for each class. I find it so much easier, and you may or may not find it easier too. I don't know. Next tip is having color schemes, or like everything has the same pattern. So like one class could be all chevron themed things, and one class could be like all flower themed. I don't know if you really want to get that much into it, but I just don't really do like color themed. So like my psychology class is purple, and so anything colored purple is, I know, for psychology, so makes it easy. And then next is to clean out your folders every once in a while, because you don't want to be carrying around extra things. But the next tip is related. Make sure you keep it, because you're going to want it when you're studying for finals, or if you have finals, but you're going to want it, so I recommend keeping it, obviously. But you don't want to carry it around if you don't currently need it, but you will need it, so keep it. And then the next tip is do not procrastinate, and I'm going to be doing a procrastination video, like an updated one, and I'm excited. It won't be up till, I believe, August, maybe. I can tell you, yeah, it will be up in August, so hopefully before you start school, so you can just kick procrastination in the butt and kick it out the door. But yeah, that's my goal this year, is to not procrastinate. And next is to take lots of notes in class. It's just going to help so much when you're doing everything, when you're at home studying or rewriting your notes. even if you don't end up thinking, you end up realizing, okay, that's not important, at least you wrote it down just in case. Like, you can never be too sure. Like, that's why I recommend rewriting your notes, so you can get rid of the extra fluff. But when you're writing it down in class, nothing is extra fluff until you go home and decide it is, because you know, you may end up needing it. But anyways, next is to date all of your notes. This is going to help to keep everything in like chronological order, and I feel like that's really all there is to say, and I need to hurry up this video, so we're moving on from that. Next is to take book notes. I generally do this a day or two before the class is, so I recommend taking book notes, but you don't have to. Next is when you're beginning a textbook chapter, read the overview and summary first, so you get a general idea of the info that's coming up, and also using the book main concepts to know what to write down. So those are related. And next is make your own study guides. So how I do this is my study guide for that particular test is my notes. So what I do is in my notes is I take down, like, I have composition notebooks for class, and I just write down like my rough copy of my notes in there, and then when I come home I rewrite them into my spiral bound notebooks, so they're nice and neat and colorful, but clean. And then for after we take the test is when I go through, okay, and pick out what information was important, what we got tested on, and that I type up in a typed study guide for finals. So it seems like a lot of work, but in the end, like at the time, but in the end it saves you so much work for finals, so you can really focus on studying and making sure you know all your information. And moving on, write down keywords, ideas, and instructions. Obviously you want everything like important to be written down. Also make sure you rewrite book or class notes using like different fonts, bold prints, and underlining to make like the most important concepts and facts like visually apparent. So any way to make things stand out, look pretty, look nice, whatever you need to do helps. And also if your teacher gives you a study guide or something that says like everything that you need to know for the test, highlight it or indicate that it's important on your study guide. Next is to make index cards. This is just going to help you remember everything for like vocab and things like that. And also write new vocab words on colored cards in like black ink or in color on white index cards, and short definitions on the back. And one thing that will help you is to draw pictures, and then like draw pictures if that's an option for like a new concept. If there's like a picture of it, then you can draw the picture to explain the concept and then explain the picture. So in the end, it's just gonna like help you grasp the concept and really see it from different, like more than one aspect, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And also for math problems and solving math problems, this is something I really like to do, is to like write down, and you can either, depending on what it is, you can just do like one line, but depending on if there's like fractions or anything, I like to just do like a flow chart. So I do like this, and then for the next step I write an arrow, and then do the next step in an arrow, so I can see how it flows. So that's what I like to do. But yeah. So next is to read assignments in 25-minute intervals, because after 25 minutes you lose 85% of like all the information you just read. So if you read in 25-minute intervals, you're gonna remember it better, and then after 25 minutes take a 5-minute break. And you just want to completely like not even think about school or anything, like just go on your phone, set a timer, go on your phone for like 5 minutes, go on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, watch a quick YouTube video. That could be your break, whatever you want to do. But then when you come back, make sure you review all the highlighted and underlined or important information, or just basically just review what you went over before your break. And then just before finishing, review all of the important material from that assignment or day, whatever you're working on. Just review one last time to reinforce everything. And then that's like the study tips, and then I just have a few little extra tips. Actually, that's a lie. I also have a few extra tips that I need to add to my list. Make sure, like, if you are in class and your teacher's going over like notes, and maybe there was a vocab word and you didn't quite get the like definition, if you're like doing lecture or something, just write down the word on like a sticky note or just on the side of your paper and circle it, start, whatever you need to do, and then look it up later. Sometimes you may not get everything down, so just, you know, look to the book for information, or if you end up having to search online, I recommend scholar.google.com. That's going to give you just like really good websites. That's what I recommend. But yeah, and then also I recommend like sectioning your notes, like having a vocab section and the important like questions slash concepts, and just having like major sections, and then everything else will fall into those sections. And then I also like to do like a summary at the top, like a one-sentence summary. This is like a reverse Cornell kind of thing. So that just explains like one sentence what those notes are about, and kind of like helps relate all the topics that are involved. And also like section or tab your notebook so you can keep track of what each like chapter is. I do it with the Post-it brand tabs, and they have like, it's like a square of paper and it has lines on it, and then there's a tab, and so like you can write on it. Like I like to do like a table of contents and then tab it for each like test type thing. So that's what I recommend doing. And now we're going to finish up with the last few tips. So first things first is make a study plan. So just like sit down and say, okay, this night I'm going to go over these sections, this night I'm going to go over these sections, and then the night before I recommend doing like just reviewing everything. So just like make a plan. And then the second to last thing, never mind, I lied. Also like color code per section, lesson, or chapter. So how I do this is by using like, so for this chapter I use this color pen, for the next chapter I use that color pen, and that's how I color code. You can color code however you want, but that's how I do it. And also review everything from class that night, and how I do that is by rewriting my notes so they're nice and clean and neat. That's just what I do. But and then lastly, for the last tip, is to set up a weekly time to review everything from class that week. So usually Sunday nights is when I'll sit down and just review everything from class to refresh my memory before I go, before I go into the new week. So I make sure like I remember like what we were talking about and everything like that. So that is all my tips, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, so just comment down below if you have any requests, and also comment down below telling me if you like learned any new tips, or if you have any tips that I didn't mention in this video that you think are super helpful. Comment them down below. And then also I think that's about it. Give this video a thumbs up if these tips were helpful to you, and subscribe because it will make my day a lot. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.